and welcome back to my channel. My name is Philip, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a game on Scratch. Or basically, you have 50 sheep in 25 seconds to get as many sheep as you possibly can to this green surface over here on my right. So basically, we're going to be using the pen feature to draw the road, and you cannot draw on the red obstacles. And when your 25 seconds is up, this fox will appear and it'll say, "Thanks, you got me blank sheep to eat." So yeah, let's get started. Click the create button, and the first thing we're going to do is talk about how the sheep are going to move in this game. Well, basically, they're just always going to be going forward, and if they touch the background color, then they're going to have to turn. So they just turn until they can go forward. So talking about colors, we're going to basically be using 4 basic colors in this game. The first one is going to be the background color, which the sheep is not allowed to go on, but you are allowed to make the track on. Second one will be the track color, and the track color is going to be any color we're going to make, and the sheep can only go on the track color. Then there will be the obstacle color, which the sheep cannot go on, and you can also not draw on it. Then the last one will be an ending color, where basically we're just going to make a shape over here. This is the end. And then if the sheep touches that color, it disappears and that sheep is rescued. So let's make the backdrop. Click the backdrops button, and then we are going to just convert it to bitmap. I'm already converted to bitmap. And then we're going to fill in the background all a blue. So I'm going to do like a pretty light blue, but still not too light. So that is perfect. Then we're going to do the starting point and the ending point. The starting point will be a circle just like the ending point, but a different color. So the starting point will be first, I'll make a yellow. And then the ending point, both of them are going to be circles, yeah. And then the ending point will be a green. Next, we're going to make the obstacles. So they're just going to be some rectangles, red rectangles. And like I said earlier, basically you can't draw on these, the sheep can't go on them. And so we're just going to make 2 of these. So we're going to make one here. Now they can be really thin like this because we don't need them thick. We just need them to stay there so you can't draw them. So one will be right there because we want the sheep to go the hardest route. So from here, like this, and then like this, and to get here. So we're just going to make another one right here. And that should be good. So now let's go back to the code. Make sure you're in the cat code because that's the sprite I have right now. And for the next step, we're going to get the sheep sprite. So click the costumes, and then we have here 2 cat costumes. We're going to delete 1 or 2. We're going to delete both of them. And then we have to get the sheep. So we have to upload it because they do not already have a sheep sprite for us. So click the upload costume button. Well, I already have it from before this video. So here it is. And we have to make it smaller. So let's try size 30 because right now it's size 130. That should be good. Well, we have to get rid of this cat costume and go back to the code. And we have to start coding. So forever it will just, so when green flag clicked, it will go over here. So X, well, actually, if you go to motion, the cool thing is it already has your exact positions right now saved for you if you go to this. So go to X, negative 268, and Y 130. We're just going to round the X to negative 270. And then forever, we are just going to move a couple of steps. So I think we could try 5 steps for now. And let's just try it right now. And there you see, you have it moving. So we have to create clones. For the next step, we have to create clones of this sheep. So let's duplicate this, get rid of that. Go to control. The bottom of control has when I start as a clone and create clone and all of the clone stuff. So create clone of myself, and then we have to wait, which is at the top of control. Not 1 sec. Actually, 1 second should be good. So yeah, let's try it. And actually, 1 second is too much. Let's try 0.3. And you can see that's good. It creates perfect amount of clones. So now we're also going to put in the when I start, under the when I start as a clone, in the forever, make sure it's in the forever, we're going to do if touching color. And then we have to pick that color and make it this background color. Because if it touches that color, then we need it to turn. Let's do this direction. Let's say it needs to turn 30 degrees. So let's try it. And you can see that they do turn. So now we have to do another if, basically saying if touching, right now we can do it, and if touching this ending color, then just delete this clone. So you can do that now to get over with it. And then the next step, we are going to make the sprite that we want, the sprite that we're going to make the road with, yeah. So let's just get a new sprite. Whoops, I don't want to pick a sprite. I want to paint a sprite. Paint a sprite. Go to costumes. Then we're just going to make it a circle. A circle. And it's going to be this yellow color. So if we actually go to the backdrops and we pick a color right here, we pick this color, it saves that color when you go over here. So you can do this color. So when you go fill, this, like that. And this is way too big, so let's go back here and make it size 50 maybe. So that should be good. Now we can go back to the code and start coding. So when green flag clicked, we needed to if mouse down. So forever, ask ourselves if mouse down is in the sensing. So if mouse down, then we have to use the pen extension. So we're going to get it. And we're just going to stamp. So let's try it. Oh, and then it always has to go to your mouse. So it always has to go in the forever, go to mouse pointer. It's like that. And you can see when I click, it works, but then when I hold, it doesn't. That is because we are in the not full screen mode, and it thinks that I'm trying to click and then drag something. But if we go into the full screen mode and we start it, we can see that it lets us draw. Now we do have to do an if saying it can't draw on the red. And also at the beginning, we wanted to erase all of the pen. So here in the pen, we have erase all. And another if, basically saying if not touching, so here's a new block, not, which is in the operators. So if not touching color, and then you get to pick this red color right here. So if not touching that color, then stamp. So we actually put this if inside of this if. So here you go. And we got to go to full screen, remember? and we see you cannot draw on the red. But we always have to make the sheep sprite. At the beginning, we want it to point, so let's get it. Here it is. And we want it to point in direction 90 always. Well, not always, but at the beginning, that's what we want it to do. So at the beginning, point in direction 90. Perfect. And there you go. We can also hide the original. And then when it starts as a clone, show. Let's make the sheep a bit smaller, so let's make them size 20 maybe. Let's see how small they are. Yeah, that should be good. And then we are going to just test it. So as you remember, we need to go full screen, and let's try to make a path for them. So you can see that when they touch the blue outside line, they try to only turn left, and they keep on turning. So we don't want that. We also want them to try to turn like right. So let's duplicate this. And what we're going to try to do is put this if right here. And so if touching this color, then turn 30 degrees. And then after it turns, if it's still touching this color, we want it to turn the other direction, double the amount it was if it were turning that way. So 60 degrees that way. So you can here, oh, whoops, full screen. And let's try letting it hit the edge, and you can see that it pretty much works. So here, see they're coming, and then like we coded earlier, if it touches the green, it deletes just that clone. So there we go. That is good. Now we are going to do the next step, where we're basically going to make 3 variables: timer, sheep that made it to the ending area, and sheep that total sheep. So we'll start off with the total sheep. So we can just rename the my variable, I guess. Total sheep. And then at the beginning, set total sheep to 0. And then change total sheep by 1 when it creates. So here, change total sheep by 1. And then that's very simple. So show total sheep. And then we're just going to do the large readout and just put it right there. So you can see that's how many sheep we have. Second variable, sheep saved. Basically the ones that made it to the green area. So sheep saved. We're also going to do a large readout for that one and put it over here. Sheep saved. Okay, so if touching this color, change sheep saved by 1. And at the beginning, also set sheep saved to 0. And that should do good. Now, I am not going to test it, actually, yet. I'm going to test it after I make the timer variable, too. So we can test all of them at once. So timer here. And the timer one is a bit harder than the rest. At the beginning, set timer to 0. Then we want to make another when green flag clicked forever. Wait 1 second, and then change it by 1, because every 1 second it needs to change it by 1. Change timer by 1. And there you go. Those are the 3 variables. We're also going to do large readout on the timer. Put it right here in the middle. And let's test them. So here we got the sheep coming. You can see the total sheep is changing. And the timer is changing as well by the second. And when it touches the green area, this sheep saved variable changes by 1. So that is good. Now, we also want to do one last thing. We want to make a total of only 50 clones of sheep. So instead of this forever here, we're just going to do a repeat 50 times. I'm doing 50 because I feel like 50 is a good number. But obviously, you can do whatever number you want. So if we go to full screen, or actually we don't need to, I'm just going to see if it makes only 50 clones and it stops. So Let's actually try to play while we do it. So here it's at 30. And it's almost at 50. And when it reaches 50, it should stop. Yeah, see, it reached 50 and it stopped going up because we only told it to create 50 clones. So that's good. Now, the last thing, we are going to make another sprite. And basically, it's going to pop up when your time is over. We're going to do 25 seconds. And in 25 seconds, we got to see how many sheep you get to the green area. How many sheep you saved. So, we'll make a sprite. And I'm just going to use the fox. So here it is. And we also have to chart it. So here we're going to use this one. And we're going to want to turn it. So flip. That's good. And then at the beginning, we just wanted to hide. So when green flag clicked, hide. If, and then forever, if timer equals 25. No, actually, we're going to do if timer is bigger than 25. Because it might not, yeah. Okay, so if timer is bigger than 25. Then we want it to show. And then we want it to just do a little fun thing. It's going to glide to a position. So yeah, glide 1 second, 2, and then we're going to show it to see what this position. So it's going to glide from here to right here. So where is that? X can be 0 and negative 130 for the Y. So let's do it. And let's wait for the timer to reach 25. Now, while we're waiting for the timer to reach 25, we're also going to do one more thing. Because it's not just going to appear, it's also going to say something. So we can go to looks and just say, it's going to say something. And make sure you grab this one, not this one. See, and it reached 25 and it glided here. So that's good. Now here you have to put the say something for something seconds. And the something that it's going to say is, for example, thanks, you got, and then how many sheep you saved for me to eat. Okay? Or something like that. So we're going to join a couple of things. So put them in here. I don't think, yeah, I think we're going to need more. So join, thanks, you got me, and then make sure there's a space. And then we're going to join it with sheep saved. So say, thanks, you got me, how many sheep are saved to eat. Okay? So, yeah, let's test it, and we're going to draw the track here for them. And you can see that everything is working good for now. And let's see what happens. So right now 30 sheep are out. The timer's at 13. And I've rescued 10 sheep now. Alright, now all sheep are out and I have 5 seconds left to get them all in. Don't think I'm going to get them all in. But everything is working, so that is good. So, thanks, you got me 33 to eat. So, oh, and it keeps saying that. So, I already see 2 things we have to change. First, well, we have to add. 2 things we have to add. We have to add a stop all here. And then here, we have to add a, you got me this many sheep to eat, not to eat. Sheep to eat. And then at the beginning, we just wanted to position it all the way like over here and then glide over here. So at the beginning, go to motion, go to we're just gonna do this thing off the screen, like 200. We'll just do 300, I guess, and then negative 130. So I'll just play the game and try it. Here we go. Let's just see how many sheep I can rescue. So it's 20 seconds, all the sheep are out, and I've rescued 20 sheep. Thanks, you got me 32 sheep to eat, and then everything stops. So that's perfect. Now, let's name the project. I'm going to name it Rescue the Sheep. And then save it. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time for another game you can make on Scratch.